fire, water, grains. They help you make pastas, rice, pizza and our beloved bread. But I started noticing a bloating belly every time when I ate something that contained grains. Is this normal for humans? Is this what you call healthy? Now, I studied food and nutrition, food and business, but I still rather ask an expert. An expert that uses award-winning science to back up his practice. An expert that exactly knows what photosynthesis does to grains as to humans. Now, Thomas van Doorn is one of those two mitochondrial experts in the Netherlands. Let's talk grains.
Grains.
All right, Thomas, what do you think about grains?
A lot actually, but I don't think you should eat them. There are a number of reasons of that, but one of the most important reasons to not eat them is because the digestive system is not adapted yet to eat grains. So.
All right, so we're talking about not eating grains, fully in.
Yeah.
That's the main point of today. Do not eat grains.
So you can, but it's not optimal.
So there's no healthy grain?
No. No.
And why is there no healthy grain on this planet?
Because they're all not natural because of modern humans and the way we prepare them and everything. And a lot of grains are actually called anti-nutrients. So the stuff that's in there, like for example gluten or gliadin, ferritina, stuff like that. It's all called anti-nutrients because the body it doesn't have a way to handle all those anti-nutrients. So.
And what's the exact part of those anti-nutrients that our body cannot resist or does not like?
Yeah, that it's not natural. So let's say, for example, we're eating 10,000 years grains, so all the research says that we do that for 10,000 years now. And let's say for your tailbone or something like that, nature needs time to adapt stuff, and your stomach is not adapted to those anti-nutrients to handle that.
Don't you think there's gene mutation in the human species that makes us able to eat grains?
Yeah, we're getting there. Eventually we will get there, but that will not be in a time frame that you and I still exist.
All right.
So that takes like 10,000s of years.
All right.
So.
Well, I remember a piece of the story you told last time was that a grain has a particle on the skin or whatever you like to call it. My English sucks. So.
Yeah, same here.
So a part of the cell on the cell membrane is toxic for the human.
Yeah. So
digestive system.
Yeah, so that's the natural way for a grain to survive. So I will take fruit as an example. You got an apple. It's juicy, and inside the apple are two what's it called in English? Seeds. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. There are two seeds. Another animal is gonna take those and eat the apple. Of course, the seeds will be still alive.
Yeah.
They will go out of the digestive system somewhere else, and from there the seed can grow again.
Right.
With grains, the outside of the seed is toxic because nature doesn't want insects, birds, other animals to eat all those grains all the time.
So that's why we shit them out if we would eat them like the full grain.
Yeah, and in the outside membrane of that grain, that's where the anti-nutrients are. So all the bad stuff, all the shit is more on the outside. So let's say you're eating it. That's why we also have to process those grains. You cannot eat a grain immediately because of the digestive tract cannot handle it. But more
just like stamping it on some stone and then grinding it and then putting it into bread and baking it. I mean, it gets lots of it's some work, and doesn't it make it better because we can eat it?
Yeah, a little bit better because we can eat it, but doesn't mean it's optimal. So I'm not saying grains are like heroin or stuff like that. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's not optimal, and in the end it will cause problems, especially because you get an autoimmune response to the anti-nutrients. And yeah,
That is?
yeah, it can depend. So, for example, with gluten, kukali, that's a kind of disease that you're not able to handle those gluten, so you get a response from the autoimmune system saying, hey, something there is not working well, or I cannot digest those gluten, so we have to fix that, and you make antibodies against it. But if you putting something into the system that provokes making antibodies all the time, that's not a natural process, and that's not good for the body.
What are things people can notice when they eat grains?
Especially bloated feeling, so the stomach feels like
you're pregnant.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and I don't know how it is to be pregnant, but you can feel the stomach literally become a balloon, a little bit harder than normally, yeah, rounder than normal. Also, a little bit of brain fog, because the immune system is saying, something is not right there. We need to pay all the attention to the digestive tract and not to the brain, so you get a brain fog. So
that's just blood going into this system,
yeah,
wait for the car.
Yeah, into the digestive system. Yeah.
All right.
Instead of into the brain, and then you lose a little bit of concentration, focus. You get a little bit sleepy. So yeah, that's also a point. No, he's not taking the car.
No.
He is.
So, how does that work for people? I mean, not eating bread, that's so fully ingrained in our culture. Of course.
Yeah, I can imagine. It also depends a little bit. Do you have disease? Do you have a problem? Do you have gluten intolerance? Do you have something that you get sick from eating the grains immediately? Then it's pretty obvious and people won't eat it. But when you want to be optimal and you want to be...
What's optimal? What does optimal mean for you?
For me, it means that most part of the things you do in your life, eat, drink, sleep, live, your job, are beneficial for your state of mind. So that you are happy, that you're comfortable with where you are, that you know that maybe when you're not comfortable, it's just a process in getting somewhere where you want to be. For me, that's optimal, and your body is a big tool in being optimal, and your brain is a big tool in becoming optimal. So for me, that's optimal.
All right.
And grains are not helping with that, because it puts you further away from optimal.
So you get a bloating belly, and you make antibodies.
Yeah. And
what else does it cause?
Yeah.
Grains.
Yeah, the brain fog. So that's a big problem as well. It can cause leaky gut. So literally.
What is a leaky gut?
So that's in your digestive tract, that are literally holes, really small holes, and from there on, anti-nutrients, toxins, everything that's in the digestive system.
You lose the nutrients that are inside your colon.
Yeah, and they go right into the bloodstream, and they give an inflammatory reaction. Yeah, they give inflammation. Yeah, and the grains on itself are able to do that. Not in everybody they will do that, but there is a possibility that grains will do that. Is there
a degree in grains? Let's say I studied food and nutrition and food and business, so I've studied a bit of food, and in the literature, grains are very healthy.
Yeah.
So that's that's a nice paradox.
Yeah.
But
especially in Holland, it's like the government tells you to eat that it's one of the 5 best nutrients around there. Yeah.
Yeah. So how does it work in this? I mean, like you have the glycemic index.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, like the regular flour they use in bread is like very high, so you get insulin spike like
crazy.
Mofo.
Yeah.
And then you have like the grains that we did not touch. We cannot digest them fully, so that's why the glycemic
index is lower.
Yes. How does that work? Instead of, I mean, in case of hurting yourself. So high is hurting more, or how does that go?
Yeah, it depends on your personal context, but let's say in general that a higher glycemic index is hurting your body more. It's not hurting the body more, it's let the body work harder to offset the negative stuff from the things that you eat.
But don't you think that's weird? I mean, you have the cell membrane and you stamp it, you grind it, and now it's open, and then you make products of it. Why is it so hard for your body to digest that?
Because the nutrients, the anti-nutrients are still in that product. When I splash a tomato, it's still a tomato. It's a splash tomato, but it's not really different. And of course, some stuff will change by heating it or by cooling it, or so it all depends. So I don't know in English, but tarwe.
Yeah.
And that's the worst part of
Oat.
Is it oat? I don't know. Sorry.
I think it's oat.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I'm not used to doing this in English, so, but the tarwe, yeah, that's
a bitch.
Yeah, that's a really bitch, and volkoren. I know the English word. There's whole grain.
Whole grain, yeah.
Yeah. That's better. Yeah.
All right.
So less anti-nutrients, less gluten, less bad stuff for the body. But I see it this way, you know, the good nutrients that are in bread, you can get somewhere else. I mean, vegetables got fibers, a shitload of fibers. Fruit got fibers. A lot of people will say, yeah, but I eat bread because of the fibers. You can get your fibers somewhere else. So, and the same goes for B vitamins. You know, a lot of people say, but there are a lot of B vitamins in bread. True, that's true, but there are also a lot of B vitamins in other stuff. Eggs, for example, you can eat eggs. So, for me personally, and for my patients and clients, I will always tell them, don't eat grains, because it's not gonna give you something on the physical side, not a big benefit. And why are you eating something that's not giving you a benefit? When you're perfectly healthy and mentally you want a French Le Pen and you really like that, okay, you know, I know you can you can go and eat that, but it's not going to be beneficial.
All right. So how do you make somebody go into the transition from eating bread all day long, and especially in the Dutch culture, not eating bread?
Most clients already have a healthy problem, so they are committed to change that. So in a completely healthy person who thinks, what the fuck are you guys talking about? I'm eating grains and bread for...
Yeah, I mean, you see athletes eating like a mofo and being strong as fuck, and yeah, I can imagine that. So you think he's eating it, he must be healthy.
Yeah, I can imagine that, yeah. But same, yeah, that's really difficult, but athletes do stuff, but doesn't mean you have to do it, and it has the same effect on you as well. An athlete is burning calories and making heat, that's really important, and hydrate itself way more than most people are who are working in an office. So what I always try to give them an alternative that's better. So
what's the alternative? What's the first alternative you give somebody?
Seaweed crackers.
Seaweed?
Seaweed, yeah. Seaweed is
Seaweed's awesome.
Yeah, has a lot of iodine in it, and that's really important as well. That's also a reason a lot of Dutch people eat bread, because there's a lot of iodine in it. Yeah, but there's also iodine in fish, in meat, in seaweed, especially in seaweed. So a lot of supermarkets these days make seaweed crackers, and you can get them with hazelnuts. You can get them with Brazilian nuts, so it's just a dry seaweed with some nuts in the mix, and it feels like a cracker and it tastes like a cracker. If people really, 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 really want a grain or bread, I always tell them to get something with corn. So then at least it's gluten free. It's not
cornbread.
Yeah, you can buy that in almost every supermarket, especially in the organic supermarkets you can get it. There's also...
they add flour to it, right?
No, yeah, some do, but not all.
So if I go to the Albert Heijn...
Yeah, the Albert Heijn is, I don't know, because I don't do my groceries at the Albert Heijn.
You're more from Ecoplaza?
I'm more from Ecoplaza, and I always try to tell my clients to eat organic as well. Yeah. Organic is still not perfect, and it's still same air as the other stuff. Same rain, so nothing is perfect, and organic food is also not perfect, but co-minerals and nutrients are more in organic food and in non-organic food.
Right.
So
And I heard you speak about like this, the protein, the glutamine in bread not being finished because of the process from A to Z.
oh,
Z.
yeah, no, it was not glutamine, but it was the gluten on itself. Yeah, it's just a way to get the message across, but you have
Because
to.
in Swiss you have sour desert bread or whatever the translation of that kind of bread is. But
Yeah,
you can eat that.
it's better because let's.
it's better.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, yeah. So it's better. So let's say you got a chicken and it's raw, then when you eat it, you're gonna be sick. And our bread is made so quick and it doesn't get time to. How do you say it in English? Rise.
Yeah.
Rise all the way. So all the protein, especially gluten, is a kind of protein, and that's not completely finished yet. So it's almost like raw. Same like a raw chicken. When you eat it, it's not good to eat a raw protein.
Yeah,
and in this case, gluten. So I don't know the English translation as well. The zuurdezenbrood gets more time to rise, and so the gluten is more cooked,
Right.
as you will say.
Right. So the bottom line of the story is that gluten is bad.
I don't know. I never used the word bad or good, but
Not optimal for
not
health.
optimal. Yeah.
So you get a bloating belly, you get antibodies. In other words, it makes you sick, it makes you ill.
Yeah, can be. In some cases, in a lot of people around the world, they got the gluten intolerance. And if you talk to a person like that, and you will ask them, what is that gonna do for you? They get headaches, they get nausea, they throw up, they feel like they want to go to sleep immediately when it's 1 o'clock,
Yeah.
midday.
Alright, so not good. And the alternative is seaweed crackers, cornbread,
Yeah, or corn crackers
corn crackers.
could be an option as well. The best option is don't eat bread.
Don't
That's
eat
an
bread.
option as well.
Alright,
Yeah.
alright. That sounds good. Not eat bread, don't eat bread.
No, there are a lot of alternatives. Same
Right.
goes for pasta.
Pasta is a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one. Yeah, of course. But you can eat seaweed pasta. You can eat all kinds of pasta that are.
Where do I find seaweed pasta?
Albert Heijn.
Albert Heijn?
Yeah, my girlfriend told me they had it at Albert Heijn. So yeah, definitely at Albert Heijn.
I hope they have it at Walmart as well in the States.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Seaweed pasta.
Yeah.
How does it taste?
Depends on the kind of wheat you have. You got like from darker to lighter of the color, so more green or almost again to black.
Yeah.
The black stuff is really tasteless. I don't like it at all. But the more green stuff is, it's really tasty. It's a little bit salty and
So it has fibers as well.
yeah. Oh, a shitload of fibers.
Shitload of fibers.
Yeah, shitload of fibers, shitload of iodine, shitload of iron. In some cases, a little bit of magnesium as well, because salt is a form of magnesium.
Right.
So yeah, really beneficial. And if you make a nice sauce with it, then it's really nice. I make seaweed sauce and throw it over my lamb meat, chicken, or something like that as well. So
Nice. All right. Well, I think we can close with that one. So don't eat bread. Gluten is bad, or not optimal. You have seaweed crackers, corn, or even better, seaweed pasta for the Italian people or the pasta lovers
yeah,
as an alternative. And all right.
that's it. Thanks.